Hey,
buddy,
what do you need, General?
would you like a cold one?
I have
or
plans
did you
here
want
to build a
hear
signal
a
interceptor
joke?
that can get me inside the Institute.
The Institute? Why in the world would you want to mess around with them?
They kidnapped my son.
Damn. That's some bad business. Even for them. We'll give you whatever help we can. Don't worry. Now, assuming you could build this thing...
The Institute uses teleportation to get in and out. This machine can hijack...
Teleportation? For real? Wow.
7 p.m. here at
That would explain a lot about how the Institute... Sure. If anyone can make heads or tails of those plans, it'd be Sturgis. I haven't found anything yet that he couldn't build or fix. I'll mark it on your map. Go find out what they need. We could use more settlements supporting our cause.
Sad to see Fort Independence. Such a
We could really use your help.
Yes, I'm here to help.
There's a group of raid. We know...
Uh-huh. Don't worry.
I hope so.
I took care of those raiders for you.
Really?
Uh-huh.
pleasure to see you again, sir. Are you ready to do...
Time to hit the road.
Wonderful. It's always fascinating watching you create.
Huh?
Hope you ain't one of them synths. You're a spy.
Can it wait?
Preston thought you might be able to figure out these plans for me.
Sure thing.
Another day of hard work. Never changes.
Preston thought you might be able to figure out these plans for me.
Sure thing. Let's see what you've got.
Here you go.
Wow, what a mess. Looks like, encrypted RF transmissions. Okay, so that gets routed through... What the hell? Teleportation. This is some pretty crazy shit.
It's real. I got it.
Seriously? I didn't know you could be an ex-institute anything. Anyway, the egghead's never... But, you can get started on what he calls a stabilized it'll need some pretty high-grade metals, but it's basically not that different than the lining of a jet engine or something like that.
Good work, Sturgis.
Well, don't thank me yet.
Right.
Here's a list of what you'll need for the... While you're working on that, keep in mind, like if you had a spare... and
Sturgis.
How's it going? Did you find a good spot to...
Yeah. Ready to build the rest of it.
Good. I think...
Sure.
Here's a list of... I'll meet you over...
Thanks, Sturgis. I'll get right on.
Good deal. One thing to keep... I'll see you... looks good on my end. You ready to see if this thing actually works?
Uh-huh. Let's do this.
You sure? I'll start scanning for an Institute signal to lock onto. Then... Getting cold feet? I don't blame you. Okay, hold real still. I don't want any corruption of the molecular beam. Oh yeah, by the way, I figured this was a golden opportunity to find out as much as we can about the Institute, and what they're up to. Yeah, this holotape's all set with a program that will scan their network and download anything it finds. Uh-oh. Yeah, we better hurry. And don't worry about that tubing wiggling around. It's, just there for decoration. Okay. Scanning for the Institute signal. Tracking RF. And... got it. Hold on to your butt.
I wondered if you might make it here. You're quite resourceful. I'm known as Father. The Institute is under my guidance. I know why you're here. I'd like to discuss things with you face to face. Please, step into the elevator. I can only imagine what you've heard, what you think of us. I'd like to show you that you may have the wrong impression. Welcome to the Institute. This is the reality of the Institute. This place, these people, the work we do. For over 100 years, we've dedicated ourselves to humanity's survival. Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future. It has never been easy, and our actions are often misinterpreted by those above ground. Someday, perhaps, we can show them what we've accomplished. But for now, we must remain underground. There's too much at stake here to risk it all. As you've seen, things above are unstable. I'd like to talk to you about what we can do for everyone. But that can wait. You are here for a specific, very personal reason. You are here for your son.
Sean?
Huh? Yes, I'm Sean.
Sean? Oh my god. It's really you.
Who are you?
Sean.
Father, what's going on?
It's me.
What's happening?
I'm your dad. Sean, are you okay?
What's going on? Father? Father!
Shh, it'll be okay, Sean. I'm here now.
I don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me! There's someone here! Help me!
Please, Sean. I'm your
Father,
father.
help me.
Talk to
He's
me.
trying to take me.
Just open the door.
Father, help me!
Sean. S923, recall code Cirrus. Fascinating, but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effects of extreme. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here has been fraught with challenges. Let's start anew.
This is...
The degree of trauma you're experiencing right now is understandable. Please.
Just... help me understand what's going on here.
I promised answers, and answers you shall have. But I need you to realize that this... You have traveled very far, and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, it's good to finally meet you, after all this time. It's me. I am Sean. I am.
It's really you. After all this time.
Yes. In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the son you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? And here I am, raised...
But why? Why take a child? Why take you?
Ah, now that's the question, isn't it? Why me? At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being.
So the weird science experiments needed specimens. That...
In a manner of speaking.
Sure.
The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical... Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. But then the Institute found me, after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into... I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics, used to create every human-like synth you see. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you.
$60.
I know. I know you must have questions.
Your mother. She never...
Yes. I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems her death was an unfortunate...
Collateral damage?
I forget that it's been such a short time for you. I don't have any direct memories. And I've had my entire life to cope with the loss. Has it always been easy? Of course not. But I've done it. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. With old age comes regret. But what matters now is that... What else can I say?
Kellogg.
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
You knew the man was a psychopath?
Would you have preferred that I turned him loose on the Commonwealth? At least keeping him on a short leash kept... The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. Institute technology prolonged his life, and his usefulness far beyond. He never failed the Institute. But his cruelty became... I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed to fit. What else can I say?
So you're in charge?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future, no matter what those above ground might think of us.
It doesn't matter what they think.
I'm glad. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, just... I know there's more for us to discuss. The Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself, and now...
Yes.
I know. I know you've been through so much. Forgive me. I'd assume that after everything I'm sure you've seen above ground, you would be more... There is much to be done. You'll need time to acclimate yourself. A chance to become acquainted with our procedures.
I'll do whatever it takes.
I am glad to hear that. The Institute is now your home, as much as it is mine. Please take some time. You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads. And finally, Dr. Lee in advance.
Almost done. Just need to tighten up this primary drive
It's an honor to have
That's
you
the third
here,
primary
sir.
drive breakdown this month. As far as I'm concerned,
Hey, Doc.
they weren't
I don't
kidding.
know.
You really
Most
are
of them
here.
have lasted
Well,
long
all
past
right.
their projected lifespans.
I'm Alice. Allie
You ask
Fillmore.
me.
You can
They were
think of
built
me as the
pretty well.
Institute's chief engineer. When Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much. I think most people... If you don't mind my asking, what was it that kept you...
I just wanted to find my son.
Now that you've found him, I hope you're proud of the great man he grew up to be. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of the facilities division, and then I'll answer any questions you might have.
Right.
As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical systems. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live and work in. There's a lot of machinery behind these walls that recycles the air and water, and provides power to the laboratories and quarters. The work we do might not be as exciting as some of the other departments, but it's at least... So, now that you're here and you've spoken to Father...
Absolutely.
Oh, good to hear. It'll be... Take your time. Get yourself acquainted. If there's anything...
It must be a challenge to meet the power demand.
Absolutely. We scratch and scrape for every precious ounce. Over the years, we've learned a few tricks that help supplement our... When necessary, we can tap into select sources on the surface. We take only what we need. Fortunately, Advanced Systems is always working on... It's a good thing, too, because it's... You don't even want to know what a single use of the molecular dematerializer... I can't argue with that. Even so, I'm ready to see the full Gen 3 roll out.
There we go. All set. Unit, you can return to duty.
Thanks again.
Of course.
Scanning. Unknown identity. Clearance confirmed.
We're all looking forward to working with you.
Hi.
Pardon me.
Greetings. As the Institute's requisition vendor, I can provide supplies for your missions on the surface. How may I assist you today?
I'll take a look, sure.
you're here. Glad you made it.
Excuse me, I've got reports to deliver.
You know the protocol, sir. Authorized personnel only.
So Dr. Ayo thinks he can hide in his office, does he? Well, you can tell him that I intend to speak to Father about these unannounced security sweeps of yours. Ransacking my quarters in the middle of the night is totally unacceptable.
I'll pass along your message, Doctor.
See that you do.
Doctor.
Welcome. Welcome. It is so...
It'll take some time, but I could learn to like it.
I'm so glad to hear you say so, and promise I'll work hard to make sure that you do. You should know that many of us consider it a great honor to have you here.
Nothing to report, sir.
Seriously thinking of heading over to robotics to knock some heads
Excuse
together.
me.
What now?
They're dragging their feet
It's
on
an
the
honor to
targeting
meet you,
package
sir.
upgrades I asked for. Maybe I should take some courses with
Always be
Send a
vigilant.
message.
We have many
Please
enemies.
don't. There's enough friction as it is between us and pretty much all the other departments.
So, here you are. Justin Ayo, acting director of this. I'll be upfront with you. We're going to be keeping a close eye on you for the near future. Despite your relation to Father, I'm sure you understand. There won't be any issues, will there?
Why? Don't you trust me?
I'll be honest. You're an outsider.
Uh-huh.
The first outsider to be allowed access to the Institute in quite a long time. It's nothing personal. Now, Father has asked that I provide you with a brief of... Our primary responsibility is the recovery of escaped synths that are hiding among the human population on the surface.
I'm sure it's best for everyone if the synths are...
Certainly. We can't allow sophisticated institute. The results could be disastrous. Our main instrument is the Courser, a third-generation synth assigned to operate. Coursers hunt down and reclaim synths, but they are highly self-sufficient, trained in combat, infiltration, and tracking. In a word, our Coursers are relentless. But I gather you know all this, since you've encountered.
Sure.
In fact, I'd very much like to know how you defeated it.
I'm no stranger to combat.
Even so, a Courser should be more than a man. I suppose I'll have to ask robotics to perform Now, unless you need something else.
You mentioned that...
The SRB constantly monitors our Gen 3 synth population, looking for specific traits. Those who show tenacity, fearlessness, and independence undergo a rigorous training regimen. We teach them armed and unarmed combat, investigative techniques. Those who pass a final evaluation become Coursers. The rest have their memories wiped. If the robotics division was a little more careful, we wouldn't have synths trying to escape.
The Directorate should take the synth escapes more seriously.
Are
I swear I spend half my time smoothing the feathers that Justin ruffles. We need to be able to collaborate with the other divisions, and that's a—
Yeah, well, if you can't get along, it's gonna be hard to accomplish anything.
Yeah, even worse, we got a lot of smart guys with fragile egos. Anyway, we'll figure it out. It was good to meet.
Report anything suspicious to the SRB.
Scanning. Subject identified.
No visible reaction.
I apologize for any disruptions that my work might cause you.
The dosage will be much larger this time, and the side effects will likely be more pronounced.
Will there be any pain?
I honestly don't know. I suppose it's your job to find out. Now hold still. There. All done. You can return to your duty. And remember to report every symptom you experience.
I hope I'll prove a useful test subject for you, Doctor.
She's been at it for over 2 hours. What is she even testing?
Nothing. At this point, she's just doing it for fun.
Excuse me. Father has accomplished so much. I hope you can appreciate his work as we do.
Huh?
Excuse me, Doctor.
Oh, hi there. Sorry if I seem distracted. I memorized 5 sets of design schematics and now I'm doing detailed mental comparisons.
That's amazing.
Oh, well, a lot of us do that. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. I just wanted to say how much I admire Father, and that it's an honor to meet you. I really hope you'll stay here with us. Well, that was productive. Sleep is such a waste of time. I'd rather be designing more efficient plasma emitters.
Rushed work is sloppy at best and deadly at worst.
Excuse me, Doctor?
Ah, it's you. You're here then. Yes, I know who you are. We all do. While I'm sure Father is very happy that you're here, I do hope it doesn't...
Don't worry, I promise.
Thank you, I do appreciate that. Oh, before I forget, let me see that Pip-Boy. I've been told to install a Courser chip in it for you. Father, you're to be given full access, with the ability to relay in and out of the Institute at will.
Thank you. I'm sure that'll come in handy.
Given that the relay is the only way to access the Institute, in case the significance is lost on you, you'll be the only one here with that kind. If nothing else, it should demonstrate the amount of trust, Father. Now, unless there's something else...
I'd like a progress report on your division, if you don't mind.
Taking your new appointment in stride, I see. Very well. We've shifted resources off of other projects, like the Child Synth, to focus on Phase 3. I'm hoping that the above-ground efforts are successful. I understand those depend heavily on you.
Is it true Food Supplement 77 has been discontinued?
That is correct.
That was my favorite one.
I will be Bioscience Division. Enjoy one of our nutritious The commissary.
Not right now.
You smell like you've been above ground.
Please don't get any germs on me.
Reporting status. All functions normal.
Area not secure. Repeat. Area not secure. Scanners detecting weapons hot.
This will likely be my last recording. My requests to shut down the FEV program had repeatedly been denied. We've learned nothing useful in the last 10 years. Why does Father insist on continuing it? If he won't see reason, then I have to take matters into my own hands. What we're doing, it's not right. It needs to stop. If anyone should find this after I'm gone, know that I never wanted to hurt anyone. Anyone.
This is Dr. Elliott reporting for the Bioscience Division. March 22-24. We just received another batch of subjects. But as my previous report stated, we're at an impasse here. More of the same won't help. The two most promising strains of FEV have been adapted to an ideal state, but we're still missing something. I am officially echoing the team's position. The most likely progress for our research on synthetic organics requires new avenues of exploration. Additional Commonwealth subjects will not help. It's the same problem across the board, exposure to too much radiation. We need someone new. There's a proposal we'll be putting forward. I am not entirely comfortable with it, but it seems the best course.
I've been reviewing Father's plans to expand our operations at Warwick. He's eager to get that going, so I've had to put everything else to one side.
I wonder how the Warwick family is doing. Young Wally must be close to 10 years old by now. It's remarkable that any child can survive for so long up there, don't you think?
I try not to think too much about it. We have more than enough to occupy ourselves here.
Those people are the last remnants of a dying past. It's best not to dwell on the subject.
They're still people, and they're suffering. We can at least admit that it's regrettable. After all, how can we hope to redefine mankind if we can't even hold on to our own humanity?
Well, that's a question best left to our colleagues in the robotics division.
Yes, well... I suppose you're right.
Humanity's future is taking root right here.
Doctor.
Welcome. So good to have you here. Dr. Clayton Holdren, head of the Bioscience Division. I can't wait for you to see the work we're doing. It's truly amazing.
I look forward to learning more about it.
In that case, let me give you a brief overview of what we do here. As the name implies, the Bioscience Division specializes in fields of studies such as botany, genetics, and medicine. Our most important directive is to ensure the health and well-being of everyone in the Institute. To that end, we cultivate highly specialized breeds of flora for use in food and medicine. We've even started to explore the idea of You probably saw the gorillas. They're really just a pet project at this point, but the potential is exciting.
Seems like there's nothing.
With hard work and ingenuity, I'm sure I've taken up
I'm not sure how well I'll fit in, but...
Great! In any case, I imagine you'll want to continue looking around.
You mentioned medical...
In that case, you'll want to introduce yourself. He's our top biologist, and also Dr. Volkert works... You won't find better medical care anywhere else.
Did I turn off the interferometer?
Director Holdren seems very taken with you.
Dr. Holdren's synth gorilla project is showing promising results.
Now that you've had a chance to see the Institute firsthand, what do you think?
You've got technology here that I never dreamed possible. It's amazing.
I'm glad you can appreciate what we've... Ultimately, all our knowledge and resources are focused on a single goal. The goal is best summarized by our motto: mankind. Unfortunately, no advancement, as remarkable as our synths are, they can be... The superior synth mind and body attempting to wrestle with something approaching free will can be a
If the synths are intelligent...
However closely they may approximate human behavior, when you see what I have to show you, I think you'll agree that a rogue synth has taken over the Raider gang at Libertalia. His memories have been erased, and his identity altered. He believes, under his leadership, I've dispatched a courser to Libertalia.
We'll bring that synth home.
That would be best. Now you should get moving. Many people...
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't be here if not for your son.